Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Kaspa Coin's developments that they have going on. So this is going to be kind of an overarching video where we just look at everything that they've got in development, we talk about it, and then we'll see, how this can improve Kaspa and what to look forward to throughout 2023 for Kaspa Coin. Just some information for you guys to know about. So we're on this developments page from Kaspa. Just if you go onto the kaspacoinorg.com or whatever, you can actually click on developments and you can see everything that they've got in development for Kaspa Coin. So the first one at the top here is obviously the DAG Knight consensus research publication, which is this DAG Knight protocol that they actually published in February. And then that's completed at the top as it says there. But then below that, they have the implementation of DAG Knight into the chain of Kaspa Coin. So right now they're running on GhostDAG, which is a previous version of DAG Knight. And I've made a couple of videos about GhostDAG and DAG Knight, so you can actually get an idea of what they're about and how they work. But as it says here, DAG Knight is a new consensus protocol written by the authors of this KIP that achieves responsiveness whilst also being 50% Byzantine tolerant. It is therefore faster and more secure than GhostDAG. So that's what they're using right now, which is GhostDAG, which governs the current Kaspa network. In DAG Knight, there's no priori hard-coded parameter K, and consequently it can adapt to the real K in the network. So K is just a parameter that normally you'd set, but DAG Knight allows it to be parameterless, so it can actually change with network changes, which we've never seen before in a cryptocurrency. Normally everything's hard-coded and doesn't allow for, room to change. Concretely, in DAG Knight, clients and their wallets should incorporate K into their local confirmation policy of transactions, similarly to some clients requiring 6 confirmations in Bitcoin and some 30 confirmations. And DAG Knight will eliminate attackers as well because of this parameterlessness. So they can actually improve and scale up the network if they want to get rid of attackers, just to make sure that the network doesn't go down. Anyway, they have deliverables here. So adapt the consensus algorithm to enforce a global maximum bound on the network latency. So the network latency is the K that they're talking about. Devise efficient algorithms to implement the DK procedures, and then research the optimal blocks per second in terms of confirmation times and provide a recommendation for the blocks per second. So what they're trying to do with DAG Knight, if you haven't seen my previous video, is just basically increase blocks per second and in turn transactions per second. And it would also allow for the network to be way more secure. Implementation on DAG Knight for the Kaspa Rust codebase as a consensus upgrade. So that's when they're going to put it in, design a transaction confirmation policy, and implement the supporting functionality in the node, and then documentation of consensus changes and API additions. And then lastly, it says here that it's going to require a hard fork for this to go through. So you can actually learn more if you go over to my YouTube channel where I talk more in depth about DAG Knight, but that's only in development right now, and I believe that they're going to be testing it soon after the Rust rewrite, which we have actually below it. So Rust is a rewrite of Kaspa's programming language from Golang to Rust, and is currently being conducted by developer Michael Sutton. This switch will provide a significant boost in Kaspa's overall performance and speed, allowing for unheard of transactions and blocks per second, with conservative estimates of around 10 blocks per second. This rewrite is an integral part of the foundation to achieve Kaspa's future goal of reaching 100 blocks per second. And for those who didn't know, 100 blocks per second, as it says here, equals to around 20,000 transactions per second. Currently, Kaspa is written in a programming language called Golang. You can think of this as a modeling clay. It serves the purpose of designing the shape and providing the concept, but it's not really anything you'd ever see in a museum. Rust is a high-performing programming language which allows for intense race-ready concepts to be implemented which fully utilize modern computing hardware. This enables such things as parallelism, the ability to process different blocks on different CPU threads simultaneously. Instead of modeling clay, you think of Rust as an artesian-grade, glazed and kiln-fired ceramic. So they're just talking about how Rust compares to Golang, and a lot of cryptocurrencies are built on top of Rust. Here we have an actual update from the 3rd of March from this Kaspa on Rust. It's a tweet from Michael Sutton, who is basically leading this. He says, Cas people, does this screenshot speak for itself? Which is basically a node that is synced live onto the mainnet and is obviously running Rust update on Kaspa. If he's doing this on the 3rd of March, it's now the 18th of March. He's probably going to see, this Rust implementation soon enough. They'll probably do alpha stages, then beta stages. Could take around 2-3 months, something like that, and then it could actually go full on the network. And then as soon as that goes through, we can actually start to implement DAG Knight through Rust as well to increase blocks per second and transactions per second. So it says that it's in development there, but obviously it has just come into testing right now, as they have already set up nodes on the main net which are synced. And then next we have in testing right now, which is the mobile wallet development. A mobile device wallet is currently being developed. I know people have been asking for this for a while. The need for a high-performance mobile wallet option has been expressed by many in our community. This mobile wallet will add the already existing Kaspa wallet options, the web wallet, desktop wallet, and the command line interface wallet. The expected time frame for this is roughly 3 to 4 months. So we actually have a Medium article here to show us what the Kaspa wallet on mobile is going to kind of look like. So you can get it on a test release for Android and iOS, but iOS hasn't actually come out yet. Normally there's a thing on iOS called Test Flight where you can actually bring beta apps over and you can start to download them. You know, a lot of people will produce like beta apps and you can just get them through Test Flight, which is this, you know, Apple's way of, I don't know, testing apps. So we have a bunch of pictures here. It kind of looks like the Kaspa wallet that we already know from the web wallet, but you can just see that they've got, you know, transactions and then your Kaspa amount here. The new thing that they added is the value in Bitcoin. I haven't seen that on the web wallet yet, so that'd be good to see. And then, you know, just your addresses and stuff like this that you can copy. And then they have this little slide that slides over. As you can see here, they've got contacts, which is, you know, I haven't seen that in the web wallet yet. And then the donation part as well, because you can donate to the Kaspa Dev Fund, and that is run by a couple of community members and basically helps the community raise money for certain things that, you know, need doing. So that's all they've got for the Kaspa web wallet right now. I believe it's going to be coming out soon, if not in the next something like 2 months from now. So we're looking at March, April, and then May. So I think May is going to be a good time frame for this to come out, but we've all been asking for it for a while. So they're already testing and it's going to be probably completed soon. And then below that, we have in development right now, which is actually a child of the Rust and the DAG Knight consensus, which is further increased blocks per second and transactions per second. I'm sorry, that's gone down. We all have heard of this blocks in crypto, but what are they? This is just talking about what blocks are. And then for Kaspa right now, the bus comes about every second, but we also allow up to 18 blocks to occur at the same time. So they're talking about transactions per second, and they're doing a bus analogy. So like when a bus comes, let's just say that. So a block is created every second on the Kaspa network, but you can actually allow up to 18 blocks to occur at the same time. I don't really know what that means in terms of the network, but normally it's going to be every second that a block's produced. Once the Kaspa code is implemented in the Rust high performance language, we may increase the block time to about 32 blocks per second. All of a sudden, your transaction is no longer waiting for a bus. There are 32 supercars arriving every second to collect passengers, transactions, and rocket them off. So they're just using an analogy of buses and supercars. But what they're really saying is, right now they're at 1 second block times, and it's going to move all the way up to 32 blocks per second. And as you can see on this graph, you know, this is actually real-time network. You can see that pretty much every second you will get blocks. Normally, if it pauses like this for a while, it produces 2 blocks, or it can produce 3 blocks. Normally, we're going to see, you know, a range of 1, 2, 3, or possibly 4 blocks. Normally, it's just going to be 1 or 2. As you can see there, we've just split up. And that's another one. Like, these are going really quickly by here. But you can allow up to 18 blocks basically to occur at the same time. So this group of blocks could have occurred at the exact same time, which meant that people could have mined them. So these are all being mined constantly. Anyway, so that's what they're going to be doing. This graph inspector is probably going to be going super quick as soon as this implementation has come in, because imagine seeing 32 blocks per second. It would just be going like extremely quick. And then moving on, we have integration for Kaspa on Ledger. Thanks to a 24-hour fundraising blitz, which happened quite a while ago, development is now underway for you to be able to send and receive your Kaspa quickly, securely, and easily from the safety of your Ledger. To safeguard your Cas holdings on the industry standard hardware wallet platform is just another step towards our goal of creating a common and safe use currency. So if you don't know what Ledger is, it's basically the leading kind of hardware wallet in the space. Mostly people will hold Bitcoin and Ethereum on it and other coins like BNB and stuff like that. But mostly it's going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, I don't know how they approve coins on there, or you just add your own one, and what they're going to do is they're going to allow for integration of that, and then you can select Kaspa at some point. I believe down here it shows something about, like, we can see here you can add coins, so I'm sure that you can add like a certain node, and then that is going to be the node for the Ledger wallet. So they're working on that. They did raise some money for that. I don't know how long ago. It might have been like 3 months ago that they raised money for that, but I don't think that that's at the top of their list right now. I think DAG Knight and the Rust language program is going to be at the top of their list. So this is only in development right now. Probably going to be in development for a good couple of months, just because they've got other better things that they can put their time towards. Same goes for this next one, which is the 2023 white paper. Although there are numerous research papers written behind Kaspa's technology, an official white paper is being scheduled for release. This white paper will thoroughly combine Kaspa's past research and current goals into a cohesive and consumable whole document, designed to inform beginners and onboard developers. So we're obviously going to be making a video about that. But realistically, you could kind of get an idea of what the white paper is going to say, and I don't really feel like they need to produce a white paper, because all of the technology and all of what Kaspa is about is kind of already been explained throughout these papers that they've been producing for the last, 4 or 5 years. Most recently, obviously, is DAG Knight. Anyway, so the 2023 white paper will be coming out. I'm sure it's not on the top of their list either, because a lot of people really, by now, could just read the DAG Knight protocol and get a good idea of what they're going for. And then lastly, we have smart contracts implementation. This is one of the biggest things that they should probably get around to after they've done all this, because smart contracts are one of the biggest things that a cryptocurrency can use to gain users, basically, and get people on their network and using it. Obviously, we've seen with Ethereum, Solana, their smart contracts are huge. They make up a large amount of users. So they're planning this smart contract implementation. And obviously with the move over to Rust, it's going to be way easier to code smart contracts. And it's going to allow other coders to come in and put their own smart contracts onto the network. So the aim of Kaspa is to become one of the fastest, most scalable and secure layer 1 cryptos. While we feel like we have already reached this benchmark, there is still existing some fine-tuning for peak performance. However, performance for the sake of performance is not the end goal of Kaspa. The broader goal is to create an ultimate layer 1 to implement smart contracts, DeFi, and layer 2 applications. It's our hope that a future ecosystem will arise on Kaspa that will be as strong as the foundation and wonderful community that helped birth it. So what you really want to create when you have a cryptocurrency is some sort of ecosystem, as they say. Ethereum has done this very well with NFTs, and you can integrate them into games, and then it can, creates this feedback loop, which is basically all run on smart contracts. And, they have their ERC20 coin, smart contract that you can use to create your own coins and stuff like this. So this is what Kaspa is trying to implement in, it would allow for stuff like a DEX to exist on the Kaspa chain, and just other things that would make it way better to use Kaspa Coin. So that's all that they've got in development for Kaspa Coin. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and let you know what's coming in the year. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe for more content like this.